Hello and welcome to your monthly numerology here at Readings at the Round Table. I'm Jennifer and this is your monthly numerology for November 2024. I love this. I do. I love that the numerology for November and December is always the same monthly numerology as it is in January and February of the next year. The reason why I love that is because we're sort of carrying over a little bit of the energy from the previous year, moving into a new year with a new number, because 2025 is a 9-year. Currently, 2024 is an 8-year. 44 8-year is what I say. There's some people with numerology that don't feel that way. That's fine. To each his own. But this is a 44 8-year, and moving into 2025 is a 9-year. So it is going to be the same, but a little bit different feeling of the vibration with the numbers that you have for November as in January. So, but it's carrying the same energy over so that you can kind of clear the energy, move into something new, while still bringing a little bit of the old with you. You know, making yourself comfortable, I guess I should say. So for November, we've got a few things happening, some interesting things happening astrologically. On November 1st, we start the month off with a new moon in Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio hits its peak at 8:47 a.m. on November 1st. So not only is it happening on the first day of the month, but it's also happening first thing in the morning. So I really do love this. And by the way, that is 8:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when it hits its peak. On November 2nd, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. Now, this is not the worst place for Mercury, but it is certainly not its favorite place, because Mercury rules Gemini, which opposes Sagittarius. And so it's feeling a little bit uneasy because it's opposing something that it rules. However, here's the kicker. Jupiter is currently in Gemini. Guess who it rules? Sagittarius. So, and that's the more modern version of astrology. If you're looking at the traditional, it's a different ruler, but this is what we're going with. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Mercury rules Gemini, and they're opposing each other. So this is going to be real entertaining for a minute. That's what I'm going to go with, entertaining. On the 3rd of November, we have Mars moving into Leo. Mars does enjoy being in fire signs. I mean, it rules Aries. So Mars does enjoy being in Leo. It's a good time. On the 11th, Venus moves into Capricorn. Again, not a horrible place for Venus. Its worst place is in Virgo, and who can blame it? I mean, I have a Virgo sun. I can't blame Venus for that. But definitely, it's not a horrible place for Venus. So again, we're just still dealing with a lot of the planets are moving into places that are not the worst, but maybe not their most favorite. On the 15th, we have a full moon in Taurus. The full moon hits its peak at 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also on the same day, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. So that Saturn is currently in, again, not the worst place for Saturn, but certainly not its most favorite. But it's giving us a little bit of a boost on our discipline. Now that Saturn is moving direct, it's giving us just a little bit of a boost in our discipline, because going retrograde in a water sign, it's already feeling a little weird in that water sign. And now it's going retrograde. It's just like, okay, this is good. But going direct, it is going to give us that boost in our discipline that I do feel like we need. On the 19th, Pluto moves back into Aquarius. Now, I haven't looked ahead into 2025 that deeply, but I do not believe that Pluto goes retrograde into Capricorn again. I think Pluto is here stationing in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Pluto does not fully leave Aquarius until 2044. So we're in this for the long haul. Yeah, I kind of dig that. Now, on the 21st, we have the sun moving into Sagittarius. All right, Sag season. I mean, I love all those Sagittarius out there just like, oh, celebrate good times. I know, you're in it. On the 25th, we have just a little bit of a curveball, but not a huge one, because we deal with this a few times a year. Mercury goes retrograde. It's okay. We're going to be okay. We are. Just make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you double check everything. It's going to be all right. It's a few weeks out of the year. Like, what is this, the third time or the fourth time we've had Mercury retrograde this year? I know. It's not horrible, and I'm double ruled by Mercury. We can get through this. And it's after the election, so we should be clear. Hopefully. Well, the election here in the U.S., just FYI. And it's really gearing us up for this holiday season. Mercury retrograde, mix up in communication. Please double check with your guests. Please double check with everything that's going on. And please double check like prices and your money situation as we move into the holiday season. More on that in just a second. Now, at the end of the month, we're ending with 3 planets and North Node in fire. We have 3 planets and South Node in air. 2 planets in earth and 2 planets in water. So it's pretty balanced. I mean, we're in a pretty balanced situation, I feel like. More so than we have been like some parts of this year. But I'm really digging this. I feel like this is going to be a fantastic month. Now, I want to tell you about the stone that I have picked for this month. Or maybe it picked me. I don't know. But I want to talk to you about this lovely, lovely crystal stone, however you want to put it, and see what you think. Okay, so the one that I picked is sodalite. Sodalite is such a fantastic stone. I mean, look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. And look at how many different sorts of like, I want to say like variations we have. Okay, we have some darker ones, we have some lighter ones with more of the white veining in it. I have some rough and some polished here, some smooth. This is like one of the prettiest like examples. I love this. Look at the browns and the blacks and the whites and the blues, and it predominantly is a blue stone. But wow, 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 wow. The thing about this bracelet I really want to show you is, do you see like all the variations that are in this bracelet? That is fantastic examples of like all the variations that you can get in sodalite. I know. And this, I can't help it. I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? I know you can see the reflections of my lights, but isn't that just a gorgeous piece? And of course, we have like the ones that are, don't roll off. Don't roll off. Stay right there. We have the lighter ones that does have, you can still see the little bit of brown in it, but the lighter ones are still, I mean, so pretty. I even brought out a wand, you know, a wand, a heart, some polished, some of the more like rough stones. I have a lot of these. I really like sodalite. So let me tell you why I like sodalite so much. So one of the things that I really, when I was looking up, and I got several different books here. One book that I pulled from was Crystal Therapy by one woman that we don't speak of a lot. And the other one is Judith Lukomsky. I think I'm saying that right, but Crystal Therapy. It is a fantastic book if you can get your hands on it. The definition that I really love is helps you release control issues, increases psychic awareness, and is wonderful. It is a wonderful third eye stone. Seriously, that is fantastic. And I think that releasing control issues during this time of Mercury going retrograde is going to be really important. It also helps clear electromagnetic stress. So being around like your computers or being on your phone all the time or having to use your GPS, this is a good time to like use some of this stuff. Use sodalite to help clear out some of this stuff. This is great for building self-esteem, self-acceptance, self-trust. It relieves panic attacks, phobias, guilt, mental confusion. I think that is amazing. I really do. This stone helps to stimulate the pineal and pituitary glands, and it harmonizes with the third eye and deepens meditation to understand the circumstances in which you find yourself. Again, we're entering into the holiday season, especially here in the U.S. because we have Thanksgiving before we run into Christmas. It helps to eliminate confusion and intellectual bondage. It releases mental conditioning and rigid beliefs, creating space to put new insights into practice, bringing about emotional balance. I love that. It transforms a defensive or overly sensitive personality and releasing core fears and control mechanisms and integrating the shadow qualities. It's useful for groups. It brings harmony and solidarity of purpose, stimulating trust and companionship and encouraging interdependence. Sodalite clears, again, electromagnetic pollution and can be placed on computers. I think this is such a wonderful thing. I do. I love this. I love this stone. I think it's wonderful. And this is the other book that I use, The Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall. Highly recommend this book. I have a couple of copies of this. Can't get away from it. I know. I love it. I do recommend it to everyone. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is I am going to be pulling from 2 decks of cards today. I'm going to be pulling from Moonology, the Oracle cards, and the Goddess Guidance Oracle card deck, so that we can get some advice for your individual monthly numerology. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to November. I'm really looking forward to revisiting this monthly numerology when we move into a 9-year and seeing what the difference is, what the vibration is going to be like, because with this month in particular, we have a lot of planets that are starting to move into into new signs. They're going direct. They're starting to go direct. Mercury's going retrograde. It's a lot of energy, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the numerology looks like for you in January under the different vibration of a 9-year. I know. So excited. All right, stick around. Let's see what your individual numerology is for your life path. And so we can get through the last of this 8-year. Hello, Life Path 8, and welcome to your numerology for November. Now, I'm very excited, besides the fact that I seem to have some sort of rivalry going on back here. But I'm very excited about November for you because, as you know, this has been a 44-8 year. 2024 has been a 44-8 year. 2025 is going to be a 9-year. And you are, in November, you have a 9-month. So that means in January, you are starting off January in a 9-year and a 9-month. So this is sort of like a prep for you. Yeah, let's say that. It's sort of a preview. Ooh, yeah. So a 9-month the vibration of the 9 is transition. It's completion. It's like releasing, removal of clutter, physical, spiritual. It's definitely a time to be logical, not as much emotional, because this is a time of choices. This is a time of changes. This is a time to say, okay, the only way to have a new beginning is to have an ending. And so you start looking and seeing that this is a time for you to move forward into the next phase with courage, into that next step. And you're moving forward with courage. You're doing it not saying, oh, I don't have any fear, but moving forward even if you are a little afraid. And that's okay. That's okay. Because, I mean, that's a normal part of life, is being like afraid or fearful, but we don't camp out in that. And you're going to see why. So this is definitely a time of rebirth for you. It's a time of generosity. There's definitely a vibration of feeling philanthropic, but this is a transitional time. This is a time of completion, working through cycles and completing, moving on to something new. So I say that to like kind of look at the bigger picture here. The shadow effects, and I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but the shadow effects of the vibration of a 9 is fear of change and fighting change. Being impulsive, moody, because that fear feeds those, fear feeds impulsiveness and moodiness. It really does. And this is also a time that you really need to watch your money, because this can lead to you being careless with your money. So I'm saying all this to, again, say, if you feel fearful, if you're frightened of change or you're fighting change happening, step back and just say, okay, I do feel this way. I feel this way, and I'm moving forward in spite of that. And that's courage. Don't fight it. Embrace it and just say, okay, I feel this way. I'm moving forward in spite of it. Sorry, I have a cat down here chewing on something. Just wanted to make sure. Wanted to make sure it wasn't something that was going to hurt her. Okay, so the mantra of the 9 is, I embody the flow of this moment with courage to change. Well, I think that speaks volumes, just right there within itself. The lesson of the 9 is to recognize the patterns and letting them go when they are no longer serving your well-being. And that is hugely important, and it's hard. It is really, really hard. When you start seeing patterns in your life that are no longer working for you and letting those go, it's hard, and it can sometimes be really crippling, because we're creatures of habit, and it's hard to let go of something that you have started to feel comfortable with. But that's where we start getting into a rut, and that's just it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, 8, and you don't want to do that. So Life Path 8, I just want to tell you that you have a wonderful ability to recognize that there's not a lack of anything if you open your mind to that. You know that there is an infinite supply out there, like money, power, time, energy. It's all there for you, especially if you're willing to work for it, if you're willing to go for it. But this is also going to be a really good time for you. It's going to be a good time for you to say, okay, I'm in the abundance. I am living in it. Is there anything here that I don't need anymore? Is there anything here that I need to let go of? And then you can move into that new beginning energy that's coming right after it. Love that. I do. Okay, let's see what kind of advice cards we get. And just to let you know, I did step away for a little bit and I helped my son with one of his projects. So I have like spray paint on some of my fingernails. Please forgive me. Ooh, Guinevere, true love. Oh, that's awesome. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Now, I want to say this about this card. It is not just about romantic love, even though I think that this could have that kind of feeling. But I think this is also about like loving yourself, some self-care. Yeah. It could also be about a cat. And, you know, if you need a cat, I've got a few. I know, I have 2 in my office. I have a bunch in my house. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. All right, let's see what we've got here. 8. Oh my gosh. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. There's something going on with you and love. And I don't necessarily think that it's just romantic love, but I'm not disputing that either. Okay? So if you're out there looking for a romantic partner, this could be your opportunity. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is in fact a romantic partner. But let's see what this card has to say. Okay? All right. Bring love into the situation. Aquarius is all about progress and modernity. Now, just to remind you, Pluto does go back into Aquarius this month. Sorry. Well, in November, yeah. Okay, so Aquarius is all about progress and modernity. So this is the time to move forwards. The new moon in Aquarius card means no looking back. Change is on its way and it could come quickly. Whether you get the change you want depends on both whether you believe you can have it and how much you're relying on others to bring it to you. This card comes with a suggestion that you may need to do things independently on your own. But be loving, not too pragmatic. Time may be of the essence when this card comes up. Aquarius energy has an electric feel to it. Certainly there is a sense that you need to let go of the past and move towards your future as soon as possible. Explore the idea that it's not what you know, but whom you know. Okay, definitely going along with the fact that November for you is a 9-month and it is tying up a lot of loose ends. It's a lot of changes coming, but I think it's positive changes if that is the way you view it and see that endings bring about new beginnings. Yay! I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I do appreciate all of you that stuck around for the 4 months that I took off. I do really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful November. I am looking forward to continuing this journey with you in December and all through 2025. So, until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.